All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
To Be Hero X, episode 2.
Last episode just took us completely by surprise with how fast it introduced us to this world, these characters.
And this conflict, because Moon is dead.
Moon is dead.
Like, super dead.
Yeah. You are now, I would say, genuinely under attack at this point because it looks really bad for you to be alone in this place here, you know, and about to go to sleep next to her corpse.
But who knows? Maybe the manager can, like, try and impersonate Moon, and then, you know, you'll somehow just keep this
if we just keep this going of just replacing these dead heroes with people that can just become the next one. We'll see.
Theseus or whatever.
We'll see basically if they even do that in this case here, because you might have been maybe more important, and there's maybe a whole lot of like rules we broke, obviously, with having some random kid just you're dead, you're now nice. Okay, wonderful. Let's also just kind of relax a little bit and get to see what's going on in Hero Tower and in this world and how all the ranking stuff works, how the trust fear system.
But I get the feeling when you wait, or when you see, like, you lie down next to your should-be girlfriend that is super dead, that's not exactly going to lend itself to like a slice of life next episode.
No, but or a healthy mental state. But I'm just saying specifically, that's something that has to be addressed immediately. But otherwise, like try to move forward here. Obviously, this is not like
whatever that means. Somehow,
this is not like something that's going to go well. Because, I mean, she was, like, your inspiration and encouragement and your light in a dark place and... It's okay. Just believe in the you that believes in you.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
We Gurren Lagann this shit and spiral power our way to break forth into tomorrow and grit those teeth and all that jazz.
Right, because while you might be nice right now, the situation is not nice.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Ah, yes. That was a whole thing. Ooh. Okay. A red. Oh
shit.
Oh, she is an idol with a boyfriend.
Okay. Life and joy.
Travel blogger.
Okay.
Oh. She was just a YouTuber. Hey, there's the bracelet again. Power of teleportation.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. So that she could go everywhere.
Yeah.
Her power assisted her actual... What?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Wow. Yeah. Not an accident at all. I do not see that as a chance encounter at all.
But yeah, the blood was on the top part of her head.
What happened that night? What? Wait, what? What?
No!
He can see the future. He can see the future.
Or she's already been replaced.
What?
Or he's dreaming right now. Wait, what? Hang on.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Ah. What? Gotcha. Yeah. It's all company stuff, so.
Husband and wife. Yeah.
You both. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh! Wait, but you can teleport. Yeah.
もういい。そう来るならこんな女神やめてやる。
Oh, he's like, oh, I love her even more.
Yeah.
I like her more now too.
Yeah. No!
Wait, but
何よ汚い？
いや、そんな。
じゃあこうよ。この彫刻嫌い？
yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you're not nice.
Huh.
完璧な能力の副作用で。
Oh.
そういう。
Oh.
最近脅迫観念がひどくなってきた。それなら僕も遠慮しない。くれ、パーフェクトピッチ。
Wait. They're actually enjoying each other's company.
Wait. Oh, wait, hang on. But if his OCD is affected, could it be something where then because everyone wants them to be together, they end up starting to get along?
Uh-huh.
教えてくれる。ワームホールを使って逃げない理由。
Yeah.
私とナイスが離れないこと。
Wow.
私のワームホールはナイスのそばにしか行けない。
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a limit.
私はもともとブロガーで会社とも契約してた。
Mm-hmm.
私にとってはただのビジネスよ。
僕はリンリン。
ナイスよりずっといい名前。
Yeah.
リンリン。
Nice. Nice. So then what was that? What was that from the other night? Does he have some new power now, or?
A month?
携帯も繋がらないし、ゲームもできない。
Just take the statue down.
男女が同じ部屋で二人きり。こんなに長く一緒にいて、何の感情も湧かないわけない。
He's gonna bring down the statue to smash through the door. Aw.
どう？少しは機嫌直った。黒を白に変えろとか、不可能を可能にしろとか。
Wow. Fun.
クッション敷いて。君の CM は。
Wait, you did?
だから番組であんな問題に答えられた。
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
一番落ち込んでた時、僕を励ましてくれたのはだから。僕の一生を君に捧げる。
Wow. And here we go.
That was the proposal. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no! Not Red! Bro's play acting a Dark Souls boss here.
Yeah.
Here. What?
He's a fanboy.
What?
And then she creates another portal and teleports to you.
Yeah.
Oh!
What?
Ah!
What?
Wait! Is he like the edgy best bud? Oh wait, no, because he's a villain, so all his stuff would have been staged before.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
こんなに一緒にいられるなんて。
And because he has no Wi-Fi, he hasn't been answering all the emails and stuff.
Oh my god.
That's why this whole
Yeah.
thing has gone like wrong here.
もしよければ、このままお芝居を続けてみる。
And then it breaks.
ナイスは完璧の代表格だ。結婚しないのは変です。でも誰かに邪魔をされたら。
Fantastic.
確かに普通に結婚するよりインパクトありそうね。
私は
死ねば解放される。リンリンの言う通り。完
Oh.
璧じゃないことが時に完璧に勝る。
Oh no.
なかなかいいアイディアね。
Wait.
シャオユーチンもあんたから離
そんな
れられる。
つもりじゃなかったんだけど、それになんだこの状況。
Hmm.
次聞きたいことが。
This is so funny.
Oh my god. Ah!
Bro, actually using something serious now.
Incredible.
What is this? What is this? Yeah, it's not you.
Oh no. A perfect place for me to die tragically.
Yeah, yeah.
ナイスは自殺した
This is also perfect because if Moon falls, well, no, she can teleport. That wouldn't make as much sense. But then you could bring her back later if you need to.
Yeah, we're bringing in others.
Right, right.
This is getting actually out of hand.
不可能を可能にする
Oh shit!
それがジュエンさんの希望でしょ
And the very landscape changing.
Whoa.
Oh, okay, just the art style. All right.
Oh, the 2D!
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah, sick. Use of the
Incredible.
portal gun, yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
nice.
Oh, that was sick.
Knock the teleporter off of a ledge. That just
Yep,
gives her
yep.
more momentum.
Tell me you're getting this. Tell me you're getting this.
Right. Oh shit.
Okay, Arthas. Okay. Yep.
Nice.
Oh!
Woo.
Whoa.
俺たちは互いにヒーローを目指す親友だ
Oh.
でも俺たちが手にしたシナリオは
Oh shit.
Damn.
ジュエンさん最近出番がないですがいつ頃そのうちねジュエンさん来週ナイスと戦わせてください
Yeah, we changed his image around a bit.
Uh-huh.
ナイスは返事をくれなくなった
Oh, so that's been...
分かった
Yeah. Because it was a month of them. Yeah, yeah.
ナイスあなたのことばかり見てて避けるの忘れてた
Perfect. Perfect for the script.
Yeah. And I love how it's also like not a big cut,
Yeah.
but right over the heart. Oh yes.
ジュエンさんが仕込んだ
Oh,
Beautiful.
cinema.
いろんなアイデアで喜ばせてくれたねなんでか急に離れるのが寂しくなってでもどっちにしろあなたはお分か
God, the layers of meta are just
Yeah. Phenomenal.
yeah. Yes.
It's his tears that brought the rain.
And in this super cool environment and everything. Yeah, yeah.
シャオユエチが死んだと世界中に拡散
The team of 4 guys in
Right.
suits, the same ones that were the bodyguards earlier.
シャオユエチに言葉をかけるとしたら何と伝えたいですか
彼女が自由に旅できるようになること
Freedom. Nice.
Nice.
That was
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
perfect. That was actually perfect.
And that might actually
ついに
So then, what was...
これは
yeah.
ファンに君への祈りを
Yeah, he changed the cognition surrounding her powers now.
何を求めてるかまだわからない
Yeah.
だけど自分が何を求めてないかはわかる
Fun.
Okay.
あなたの心はどこへ
僕は
Yeah, you could go with her.
Cool. Oh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
She doesn't need it anymore, but also you can use it.
Right. Maybe.
あの社長が登場した時ナイスの心拍数は大きく変化して
Oh my god.
そうだったのか誰だ姿を見せろ
Through the octopus? What?
Huh? What they fear.
That symbol! That symbol!
Yeah.
恐怖粒子がもたらすパワーを試したくはないか。そうすれば裏切りを恐れることも何かにすがる
The voice.
これより先ジューシーという人間は存在
Whoa!
お前はゴッドアイ
Oh. Oh my god.
We're still in the prologue!
Yeah.
Like, all right, what another fun premise for an episode, despite completely sidelining us with the, wait, Moon's actually alive and fine.
Yeah, she's not dead.
We'll have to come back to that at some
Right.
point. But for now,
But also Moon's out of the story now, so
Right. so maybe it doesn't
like
matter.
on the one hand, okay,
Yeah.
awesome, good job,
Right.
because the character that we thought was killed off is still written out of the story.
Yes.
Nice.
Right.
So while it is backpedaling, it's not.
Well, no,
What,
because
or-
we don't know what that was. We do
right.
not know what that was. There's no backpedaling here. There's something that was set up there, but we haven't had payoff for it yet.
Right.
Yeah. So right now, Moon was introduced to us fully. Her true person.
Yeah.
The persona of Moon was completely cast away, and we got to see a person who just wants to be free to travel the world. There's
Right.
no other desire in her other than to be solitary, free, and
Oh yeah,
filled with wanderlust.
And the idea that her teleporting power ends up being limited because everyone wants her and nice to be together. That she can only teleport to his side. Holy shit! Like that's
so
terrifying.
dark
That's-
and cool.
Yeah.
In a way that we took a power that I love that we had to see a device be the channel for it.
Right.
Because that kind of falls in line with the bracelets and all that other stuff. In that, like, if it's just you flying, like maybe you have to have a suit, or maybe that's what the core thing is on
Right.
Nice, for instance. But there has to be some kind of device or something that channels the actual trust.
Yeah.
But she was still involved in the fight and portaling in such a way that wasn't literally to within 6 inches of him at any given point,
Right.
because she was by his side. So she can
Yeah.
basically, while with him,
She can
teleport,
in the general
relatively
area.
distant,
Yeah.
relative distance.
right.
But then all this to then lock them in a room and say, hey, your contract says we own you, so
Right.
get ready to get married. And then he comes up with this new story for it. It's
Which
just
I love.
so
of the,
fun.
Yeah, you have someone that interrupts it. Fantastic. Right? Yeah.
it's a tragedy now.
yes.
Fans will love it even more.
Right.
Because they don't actually love any of these characters or any of these people. No.
Yeah.
They just love the feeling that they get by being able to vicariously attach some of their own feelings to this
Right.
crazy story, regardless of whether
why-
it's real or not.
Right. Hence why I think the whole teleporter limitation is so terrifying, because
Yeah.
it's not a conscious thing that people are doing.
No.
Right? It's just a revealing of the subconscious desire.
Yes.
Right? Like, which is, oh man. But then that also makes it so that, oh hey, it can be, subconsciously addressed as well. With him
Yes.
being like, yeah, let her go, she might be gone now, but wish her well and the freedom to be able to go wherever she wants, and it's
Yeah.
like, yes, of course,
Beautiful.
beautiful, I love it, yeah.
And it actually
The feels-
unbinds her powers.
And it actually unbinds her powers.
And then she actually just throws aside the gun.
Right.
Which I love the portal gun being put aside, because one, she doesn't need it anymore.
Right.
She is actually free of
Yep.
the need to be that character. So thus, yeah, just be you.
Well,
But also, like, in
The-
the sense of like giving it up to him and being like, hey, you can do whatever you want with this. Like,
right.
like,
And-
my trust should still go through the gun. Like, this is something that I think is really fascinating, is that because the trust is still extending to her beyond her death, the
Right.
gun should still have the ability to teleport.
Right. And so,
Not just because she's the one pressing the trigger.
right,
you know?
going a different direction.
Yeah.
I made a reference to like the whole meta joke of like, oh, but if she dies from like, a dramatic fall where we don't actually see her die, then that's the classic thing where you can then have the character be brought back, right?
Right.
You can do your soapy thing and double dip and all that stuff, right? But the things that we had happen in the metafiction of the show of like, yes, we're telling this story to the masses is also kind of in line with the thing that's actually happening in the show for us, the audience, right?
Yes.
And so the idea that she went away and left the gun there, we can absolutely have that moment where then he's like, I wish Moon were here, and, makes a portal and then, she
goes to her side.
Or, she comes back to help him out or whatever, right? So it's a fun way to make it so that we have this, self-contained episode that tells its story and it's done and there you go, while at the same time adding more things, more tools into the arsenal of the show to be able to use at a later point if it so wishes.
Yeah, like the Nemesis wreck.
Right.
I feel so emotionally attached to this like brotherhood that we never saw. And the love that they genuinely show for each other in their little quick flashback scenes because Nice, the actual original Nice, maybe assuming that this hasn't happened many times,
right?
Was actually like in a very close relationship with this guy, and they were built up together alongside each other. But then it was literally when the True Love Recipe stuff started coming out that things started shifting away, because the image was changed from, instead of him being this like titan of strength and hope and justice, then it actually shifts to him being like a male model, like, Fujiyoshi bait,
Well, right, because Fujiyoshi bait.
Or just romance bait for everybody.
No. Here's the actual unrealistic thing from this, is that they weren't like, no, we need Rek to constantly be here, because there is the subset of the audience that is like, yeah, Moon's great and all, but we need them to kiss, fall in love. We need the true canon couple. And so the idea that they were ever like, yes, no, like, we're going to stop baiting this, this potential relationship, I call bullshit. There's no way.
No, they absolutely would, from like a societal sense. Oh, I absolutely believe they would.
Yeah.
But given that this guy was genuinely hurt by this, I don't think this has anything to do with the image people have surrounding Rek influencing his connection. I think this was actually just genuinely him.
Right.
But the part that I think is beautiful about this is then you have multiple people trapped by the personas that they're forced to act, then finding the ways in which they can have little bits of freedom in the midst of their cage.
Right.
And so while Rek is able to have a modicum of a conversation with Lin Ling, or Nice in this case now, it's still not enough. And then in the actual cage, when they were, stuck together for a month, they have their little bits of freedom in the midst of that. But it all ultimately comes back down to them playing their roles, playing within the cage and the environment with the tools that have been given to them by this group.
Even to the point where something was brought up that has wild implications I've noticed my OCD generally getting worse. That's the real scary shit.
I mean, well, that's the powers. It's the same thing. It's just applying to the actual person,
thoughts and emotions and things like that, rather than just the physical capabilities.
Well, his eye color changed in episode 1. It extends to every aspect of their being.
Well, but it would be very easy to maybe for us, the audience, to believe in the fanciful lie that yes, if the body is changing, then somehow the brain will be exempt.
No, it's all connected.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all connected.
So
even if you're not literally drawing that connection, the idea though that you're aware that your body's changing like that influences the way your brain works.
Sure.
So
yeah. But
no, it obviously is all connected in that regard, and they've been hinting that in episode 1 too. So
but getting that confirmation here was very I appreciated
Gotcha.
that. And
I feel like I was already confirmed in the first episode, but yeah, if this is a double down or what have you, or a full confirmation, totally. Yeah.
And so seeing the ways in which that, like that there's so much there to be explored and go into all kinds of crazy, potentially scary territory in the future.
Well, right, because then it's hey, you have somebody who is obsessed with taking down Nice because he is trying to basically tackle the most obviously fake of all the heroes.
Sure.
Like maybe in a lot of ways the most corporate branded hero on their target list, if you will.
I'm gonna get that awesome title and thumbnail for my video, and yeah.
And so he's trying to build some drama where he knows there is some,
right,
and then he ended up stumbling upon something even bigger where he's like, wait, Nice was always kind of fake, but this is something potentially more. The numbers, they're connected.
Yeah.
And so then he gets approached, and the way he immediately jumped to the Spotlight organization, which is okay, so again, Spotlight organization feels like they're doing shady stuff, but if they're so obviously known and everything, what's the twist with them then?
So there's the possibility, I don't think this is what it's going to be, but there's the possibility that there is no twist, and it's just hey, the more well-known we are, the more notorious we are, the more fear, right?
Sure, we get more ability to work within.
Yeah, the balance sheet works there. It could just stop there. I get the feeling it's not going to, but it could.
It's the whole, hey, y'all understand that Amazon is basically killing its workers, that's not a controversial dishonest statement. That's just fact that's going on in some of the warehouses that has been. It's they're going to keep being a company despite doing this here, and then put out an ad being look at how well we're treating our warehouse workers now.
Look at how we're helping, a bunch of affordable housing be built in this area, or just something like that.
Just uncognition yourself. It's okay. Forget that we did that. It's all right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So it could be something like that, where they're just the corporation that is clearly doing messed up stuff, but because we're in a world with fear and trust being able to be commoditized and used as a power source, it doesn't matter.
Well, and we also brought up the whole idea of a villain being someone that they also propped up. Because even if it's specifically for a rivalry, that then throws into potential question, how do you then differentiate? Right, in the same way that if heroes are fake.
Well, one's being channeled actually by fear, and the other one's actually being channeled by trust. Because in a lot of ways, that's where we can get into the differences between the two, is that fear is the black miasma. That stuff actually visually is something that, in the same way that the electric channel is the trust.
Totally.
There's an actual, tangible, identifiable factor that we can
and I'm sure
can visualize,
and I'm
which works
sure
great for animation.
In a lot of ways, Nemesis would still get plenty of trust.
Yeah,
his Nemesis would still get plenty of trust. Wrecker. Wreck would still get plenty of trust as the Nemesis because the audience can trust that he will show up.
Yep,
Nice will beat him. It'll be awesome. He'll be back. Right? We will get the fun brain chemicals of this guy showing up. Right. And it will continue. You know?
You get so much value out of a fiction story with a nemesis or a rival if you have them have also some kind of light complexity so that their desire isn't just to hurt the protagonist, but it's to understand them better because something about them just irks them so deeply.
You wouldn't,
and that's
have
why
to,
people ship them all the time.
Right. DBZ fans do not have to question whether or not Vegeta will suddenly disappear from the show.
No.
That's not going to happen, right?
No.
That is an impossibility, right?
Yes.
And so in a similar way, okay, cool, yeah, Wreck gets his power there.
Yeah, because you can have your rival be still your best friend. Like
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know,
we've
like,
seen
yeah.
that over and over in fiction.
Right. Like, actually, okay, maybe this is a weird example to bring up.
Okay.
What kind of power is generated from a roller coaster?
Okay.
Because it's
Yeah.
going on fear and adrenaline because, oh my God, this stuff is happening, but also the trust that I'm not going to go flying off the roller coaster and die. I am
right.
going to be safe at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
I am going to experience terror.
Right. It's the safety of,
Yeah.
we're going on a park ride. We're not actually like
Exactly.
we're not actually going anywhere new.
I'm not getting pushed off a cliff,
Well,
right?
Right,
You know?
right. We're not going to unknown territory. We are actually in a circular,
Right.
full loop here.
Yeah, and so there's some fun things that the show could get
there's
into
some
there.
fun things they could get into.
Particularly
yeah.
given that, at least one villain in this world is purely orchestrated, right? And we know that the heroes are plenty orchestrated. There might be a genuine hero
Yeah.
somewhere,
I
but,
absolutely believe in a lot of ways that's what Moon was. Like, this is why you don't sign over your YouTube channel to those crummy little
Yes.
scam companies that
Yes.
come in and say, we're going to help boost you.
Right.
Because basically that's what happened, is that she
Yeah.
grew popular enough in a natural way, and this was big world building. She gained her powers before she had the device and everything.
Well, no, they mentioned that she was under contract before she even started blogging.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, or vlogging or whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that it was the entire thing from the ground up was orchestrated,
Okay, gotcha.
which makes sense, right? Like,
It does. Yeah.
yeah,
Damn. Wait, I must have missed that. I thought it was saying that she was under contract, but it wasn't from the very beginning. It was from a very early point in her her deal. She was actually yeah, I don't remember where it was that they actually she said, I've had a contract with Treeman from the day I started travel blogging.
yeah,
Damn.
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So then, in a lot of ways, there is no such thing so far. Like, we've had 2 examples, basically, of this particularly not being... No, we've had 3, because of the rival. The
Yeah.
rival was brought up in the same way as well.
Right.
His story just ended up being one where it lent it better for the company,
Right,
or
to,
the
to
companies
have it go in this particular way.
have it go this way.
And one of the things I'm kind of curious about is then where then does Spotlight fit into the mix? Because I could see Spotlight actually disrupting the delicate balance, because if you can tell that there's a difference with the fear versus not, that might just be something that people associate with Spotlight as being their funky thing. Or that could be something that then starts to peel back the curtain on just how much of everything is fabricated.
Well, right. Again, that's the difference between people being aware versus it actually changing society.
Oh,
You
sure.
can have people be aware and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The message is too strong, that you can't actually just disrupt it with, a couple people posting on,
sure.
so their social
Yeah, it
media
gets
accounts
drowned out or
have you.
whatever,
Oh,
yeah.
it absolutely goes like that, I would say, most of the time. You have basically controlled opposition with regards to the narrative. You have
Right. Yeah.
false flag, basically terrorist attacks, specifically to set up their heroes to get even more popular.
Right, celebrity couples just being a thing.
Are exactly an
while
example of that, yeah.
Plenty of people will be like, that's probably staged. There will still absolutely be the people that are like, oh, don't be so cynical,
Right. There are examples where you can clearly see that because the relationship lasted about as long as the movie series was going on or
Sure.
what have you, then you can tell that might have been potentially fake. Or even if it's not fake and you're not so jaded, you know that it's at the very least a relationship of convenience because people are
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But then you see those other examples where it's nah, their relationship went 25 years.
Right.
That was real.
Yeah.
Even if it started off maybe not like that,
Sure.
it eventually became something like that. Because you don't stay with somebody for 20, 25 years as a fake thing. I mean, maybe you do, but I'd be very surprised if that was the case.
I'm thinking of 1 or 2 examples that I'm pretty sure are probably something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
25 years?
Well, okay, maybe you throw a few divorces in there, but
Oh, sure,
constantly
sure.
getting back together.
I mean,
you
yeah,
know.
but that's also just toxic people in general with a lot of money.
No,
Like,
totally. But it's also like a good way to farm out the engagement on.
Well, sure, but then
you know?
again, do you then call
What happened to
that...
Brad and
Well, no,
Angelina again,
no.
you know?
But again, that's the difference between something being a marketable enterprise where they themselves are doing this versus a third party being like, we have made the decision that you will have a fake relationship.
No, that's a good point. If you decide
People together who are celebrities being
Deciding-
fakely together for business reasons,
Yeah.
oh, that's a whole other thing. That is absolutely a whole other thing that I'm not talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about this, where it's we have decided that in order to sell this movie better, we need you guys to
Sure.
be dating or what have you.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about the relationships where it's there's like
they're being voluntold.
they're being voluntold, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have agency
Sure.
outside of maybe them wanting to test the limits of their contract,
Sure.
get their lawyers involved or what have you.
Right.
But yeah, we have now our exposer guy becoming
Right.
God Eye. Oh, Enlighter, that's his name.
Yeah.
Now he's God Eye, which as far as
That's a much cooler name than Enlighter. Why did you ever have Enlighter as your name
Enlighter
before?
is such a dumb name.
Like that,
but God Eye?
At least have your name be like Oracle or something, before then, right? Like,
Right. I can see some ways in which his desires being one of exposing the truth
Yeah.
could also then end up getting manipulated to where he ends up exposing truth a certain way
Oh, sure.
or other
Or selectively
narrative
which
means and
truths
stuff.
to reveal. Yeah.
And then it becomes something where he even himself is a victim of forces beyond his, scope and needs to get out of this and needs to be saved.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
I
can
mean-
see a very cool plot line going on with him.
Even if you just go for the freedom angle,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
He effectively was not that high in the rankings of heroes in
He
general.
was bottom of the the numbers
but-
that they even rank. Apparently,
Yeah.
it seemed
But
like
then
they were saying he was 249 out of 250.
Right. We don't know if it was 250, but
I'm
it
pretty
could have
sure
been.
they mentioned something in the
Right.
first episode.
But his trust tanked after that event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's still something where he, maybe on a smaller scale or something with less oversight,
Mm-hmm.
is still that. All right, I need to try and make this thing work. I need to, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it. Like it's the whole idea that behind all the stories of the tabloids and the, they're just trying to make money. It's because they're so not making money, this is the only way they can kind of put food on the table, sort of a thing, right?
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, it's if you think about fame as something that you sell your soul basically in order to get some aspect of, then you don't sell your soul in its entirety. You sell fractions of it. And
Right.
then little by little, you end up running out of it to the point where you're like,
you become
oh,
flexible.
well, I don't really have any dignity at this point, so I'm fine just selling whatever I've got.
Right.
And I'm more concerned with my output and the feeling of having
Right, which then going
Yeah.
back to the first episode
with belief and
with belief and also with the boss telling him you're nothing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like going from you're nothing at the beginning to yes, it was, moon and all that stuff, but also it was he believed in himself, right? Maybe with help from someone else, but he believed in himself. Awesome. Even if those were things that he wrote the commercials for, so it was also maybe him telling himself that you can believe in yourself, right?
Right.
And then, oh, hey, that's how he's able to beat the bad guy, so there's
yeah.
the themes for this show are on point. They keep adding more fuel for it to be explored and fed into the plot. Awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love the introduction of this voice, basically starting with people's trust really is cheap. Like it feels so human and petty and not like a representative of an organization or what have you.
Yes.
It feels so individualistic.
Yeah, there was a lot of personal intonations in how the lines were delivered, where it's
Yeah.
like, this is not some robot, and this is certainly not some suit that's like, I am the management of the this branch,
Right. This is someone who has their own kind of petulant bone to pick with society. And so while he might be speaking in this way, we have no idea who this is with the voice modulator. specifically speaking, to appeal to Enlighter in this way. I love the visual symbolism of the octopus clearly not being actually there, in that there was always these little drone bots here.
Right.
And
Kinda
this was
keeping
this was
watch.
right. This was like a visual screen to make him think like, oh, this is something that I've got here.
Yeah.
And it was actually these little like robots here, basically saying everything you've known is a lie. And now we're employing our fear to kind of basically slap you upside the head with reality. And do you want to take that fear that you're feeling right now and channel it?
Yeah.
I love that because this is what all the vigilantes, the ones that basically believe they're doing right in hero worlds of sorts, take as their fuel and then justify what they're doing because
Right. The
They
bad
are-
guys will fear me, and that's how I become more than just a person.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
bringing this up is that in those stories, their power becomes their iconography, usually.
Sure.
The idea of the presence that they wield before they show up.
Oh, yeah.
And so the idea that an organization is weaponizing this in some way, and it's so overtly being done that it's not even like a secret, really. It's
Right.
just, this is what they do.
Oh yeah. To say
I-
nothing of the whole idea of the bit in the, was it the ED or the OP, where they're talking about like Lover of Spotlight or something like
Yeah.
that. When it's like Spotlight is the one that's set up as the bad guys right now, but also clearly the established order is not particularly great, right? Like, okay, they make some good reality TV, but that's about it, right? So
Yeah.
the idea that there's very much the villains that are then made by Spotlight, but also at the same time, oh, you want to expose somebody? All right, cool. You want to use fear? Hey, there are times where I'm sure fear is very important to be used, right?
I mean, people channel fear themselves in the same way that the bosses bring up in episode 2, just so that they are not.
I don't want to get fired. Okay.
They're not missing their deadlines.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yep.
I am very excited with how also the OP and ED are building up the cast of heroes.
Yes.
They are very much a very colorful bunch, but the show is called To Be Hero X, and there's very clearly a
Person with
guy,
an X.
the white suit with the X there,
That is also like so much,
so
given
larger
the-
than life.
Well, given the spotlight of the OP and ED, almost to the point where it seems like they're more supposed to be the main character than nice.
Well, I think what it is that they are the goal. They are the apex. They are the ones that
They're the actual number one hero.
they're
or
the
something.
actual number one hero. They're who people desire to become, to be like, and what have
Right,
you.
which then the fact that it's, the person in the suit and all that stuff, I'm sure goes into all sorts of societal commentary of, ideals and things like that. But
Oh yeah. There's some fun things this show is teasing us with, even though we're still basically in the prologue. We're still
Right.
introducing our main character.
yeah, like this was comparatively to the previous episode, this episode was super chill.
Yeah, really relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet we still don't know what that vision was
Right.
that you saw.
Yeah.
So we'll be going to the next episode with that little bit of trepidation of like,
Yep.
what kind of new status quo are we bringing
Mm-hmm.
our Linling boy, our nice boy
Yeah.
into? Because I think it's going to be the world of heroes, given that the TV decided for him he desires to go up to be the top of the top. you
Right.
know?
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that Moon accepted that because it's like but we know that all the stuff out there is fabricated nonsense, right? Like we established a genuine connection of, hey, off camera,
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, right.
Who
like,
cares?
Yeah.
Nah, she's been stuck in this for years. She wants out.
Oh, no, I get that. But with the, asking him what he wants and then the announcer, TV, whatever, says it, or something like that. Or maybe it was even him on camera.
No, it was the announcer. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, okay, well, best of luck with that. It's like,
Well, no, who cares? She doesn't care about him.
no, but she was actually asking him, what do you want now?
Right.
What is it that you want?
Right, because she wants him to experience the thing that she's feeling. She's so high on the freedom that she's experiencing. She's like, I wish I could give this to you.
No, totally. Yeah. But I don't know. It felt odd that then after you ask a genuine question like that, to then have it be a TV announcer says a thing that's clearly your image, your icon, all that stuff. All right, cool, neat. I'll accept that as the answer. Bye.
Yeah, because again, I don't think she cares about him more than her own desire to be.
No, totally. But
Yeah.
whether or not she gets an answer to that is not going to dictate whether or not she's free. She's free. They did the staged thing and all that stuff. She can go whenever she wants, right? She stops before going into the portal to ask him the question, and then announcer says a thing, and she's like, "I see."
Right, because it says here, just now, the hero Nice, who has been gaining rapidly popularity, has announced that he will officially aim for the top 10 in the hero rankings.
Right.
He doesn't answer.
Sure.
He doesn't look like he's going to answer. That's what she gets. So
Sure.
either the thing is lying,
Or he's just-
he did actually say that at some point. And so there you go.
He's choosing to not give a real answer, so then that's contrary to what the announcer is saying, and so okay, that's what she's got.
Yeah, again, they've only known each other for like a month.
Sure.
She doesn't care about him that much. It is a thing of where she is so excited for her freedom. This was a courtesy question of like, I do feel like a connection to you, and I do want you to figure this out, but it clearly looks like either you have to figure that out, and thus the slightly deeper area where she's not just saying, all right, bye-bye, I don't care, is that she's saying, I wish for your success on reaching the top. If this is really what you want, okay.
Yeah.
Then go, and I wish you all the best. I actually want you to get that. If that's really what you want, then go. But I'm out. I've been here for years.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
That was basically a nice way to say goodbye. And now I'm genuinely saying goodbye. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the answer.
Yeah, because he could have said something different, right? You know,
but he didn't. He
Yeah.
just kind of stood there frozen, probably because on some level he doesn't know.
Sure. Or at the very least, he doesn't believe that he can really escape this, or doesn't want to, because it's hey, even if I'm in a cage here, this is a much better cage than what I had before.
Totally. In a lot of ways, he probably does want this. Actually, somewhere.
Sure. Oh, he absolutely. I mean, it was his
message
a fantasy
with regards
when it started happening. Apart from Nice having killed himself.
Totally, but that was actually a point, literally, that he talked to his boss about what the message of his commercials was that
right,
I too could be a hero. Some normal schmuck like me could do this, because that is a desire of his. So
Right.
if anything, he's watching the potential for a better life walk away from him without realizing that he's trading that potentially, where they go out and just throw this all away to then trade it for a gilded, cage that
because it's very
might
pretty.
have his dreams in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's episode 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this gilded cage that you have might be about to be set on fire, because if that whole thing of, oh, hey, this person isn't actually nice, it's this dude, there was a switcheroo that happened, I can't imagine that'll be great for your trust.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about animated shows in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.